Well, Kyle?
Yes, Garrett.
SPHEEEEEENE.
Is no more? Maybe. Let's find out.
Lamat.
What are we doing here today, Kyle? This is on the main channel. We're addressing our cameras directly. We haven't done one of these since you moved.
Been busy. We are busy. Things are busy. But this is timely. Let's be timely for once.
You want to be timely for once?
Let's be timely.
Okay.
Let's hear the new English voiceover for the great SPHEEEEEENE.
There was a really interesting patch note in the 7.1 patch notes that just came out for Final Fantasy XIV with the release of, you guessed it, patch 7.1. It's like way down in the notes. Just as 7.x says the English voice to dialogue in certain scenes has been adjusted.
Vague. It was vague. We didn't know which ones. People made assumptions and they ended up being right.
Because of meme line delivery that it's being memed for the wrong reasons. Should we just get to it?
Let's get to it. Let's hear the new SPHEEEEEENE.
There! A rift in her reality! She's losing control of the power! Stain! Listen to me! I understand! I do! And I know that you won't be swayed from your course! But if there's truly no other way to resolve this,
That's nice.
then face me! Not as a machine, but as the real you! Lamat.
Here it comes.
Stain!
Oh, a statement.
Anomaly detected in memory banks. Data of the endless fiend partially restored.
This is what I desire, and I will not fail.
So the whole end of that was the same. The whole back end business, exactly as it was. But the arrival to the final SPHEEEEEENE,
Yeah, they changed.
new Lamat.
They changed way more of that than I expected. And yeah, So everyone memes on the second SPHEEEEEENE, right? Because it's
The SPHEEEEEENE kind of bit is the main memery.
yeah, it's like right before the end of the cutscene. I'm getting because there's two yellings of SPHEEEEEENE. One when you're breaking through the wall here.
Stain! Listen to me! Stain! Listen to me!
And one right towards the end before Robo SPHEEEEENE goes Lamat.
Yes.
Lamat.
Stain! Stain!
Talking about the big SPHEEEEENE, which is now a small SPHEEEEENE.
I gotta be honest, I didn't really think there was anything wrong with the original version of that part. I think when Lamat breaks out of the wall, it's being read like freaking crying Matthew McConaughey from behind a wall, not being able to break through, but she's currently breaking through a wall, flying through the air to fight. I think that's the bigger upgrade in this cutscene. Also, when she's picking up the hand, the new reading, like you can hear the strain in the voice.
But if there's truly no other way to resolve this, then face me! Not as a machine, but as the real you!
Like it feels like actually exerting like the power of Granted, more power than most humans could pull off to pick that up. But
the effort, yeah.
You can hear it in the voice. Yeah. Yeah. So funny enough, I actually kind of like the longer scene a little bit better.
The longer Sphene is pained. It's an interesting mix. The original always sounded like she was astral projecting in. It's very emotional. It's emotionally weighted, but it's not physically full of effort.
I think we're in the same boat, dude, because yeah, there's something about that original recording that I do enjoy. And yeah, it felt like it was recorded for a dream sequence or appearing as a visage kind of coming back through reality, but not entirely kind of corporealized, rather than physically breaking through a barrier and heading into an action scene. And there's something about that is inherently nostalgic for me as someone who is a fan of late 80s and 90s English anime dubs. And I didn't know how to put words to it until you actually helped me put words to this, because we, at the time of recording this, we're in between attempts on clearing Sphene Extreme. And as a trailer to promote our Extreme Sphenes stream, you went and edited the entire original take of this scene over a bunch of Evangelion noises. And it sounds like a goddamn Toonami trailer. And I love it.
She lost control of the power? Sphene, listen to me.
It, like, you made me legitimately love the original take of this.
Those 90s robot noises are so nostalgic, so loud. The wheels and the machinery and the smashes. I've kind of fallen in love with what I've done, so it's hard not to project, man, you know, they're going to be editing some audio. I'd really like them to really up the sound of that robot.
And I'm not here to say that I think that is like objectively good, which, by the way, good and bad is inherently subjective. So please be kind down in the comments. I'm a little worried about this one. Please be kind down in the comments to each other and to the freaking artists that work on this game, be it voice actors, voice directors, so on and so forth. I think the disconnect in some of these scenes is, I see it as being the same issue as the original voice work in A Realm Reborn, which I guess is still the voice work in A Realm Reborn, but it's for the most part a completely different cast of voice actors doing like every scion, every grand company leader, and almost all of them, I think all of them, get swapped out come Heaven's Word moving forward through the rest of Final Fantasy XIV. And what that is I see it as a failure of voice direction. I don't, and who knows how far down this goes, because when you're doing something like this, when you're in the booth and you're laying down these voices, these scenes aren't typically ready. A lot of it is trusting the representatives from the development team, usually the director and anyone else who's present, to kind of let you know what's happening in the scene. And you go back to A Realm Reborn, and there's a lot of line delivery that feels like, oh, they didn't know this was going to be an action scene, or they straight up didn't even know how some of these words were pronounced. Like, there's just mispronunciations in A Realm Reborn. There's a lot of what I see as just a failure of knowing the context of the scene. And I think that's what was happening here as well.
Clearly, it wasn't presented to the performers as an action scene for this particular take. So, improvement. I enjoy the flag that this plants in future voiceovers, that we can change them should it feel needed. Should the current players look upon it and say, this could be better for players in my future, let's do it.
Within reason, right? Like, you don't want to take it too far, because there's danger in that they end up with something like the Star Wars special editions.
Yes, you can destroy what you've created in the moment to such a degree with your new preferences, with your new takes on life, and make it a completely different thing. there's small things about here, like the rift in reality changing. She's losing control of the power. I'm like, I kind of like the old delivery, even in that point, because you're breaking out of something you don't understand.
Yeah.
But now it sounds like Lamat has a full understanding of what the power was and is sneaking through a hole that has appeared rather than breaking through.
Is this a rift in reality? Has she lost control of the power? There! A rift in her reality! She's losing control of the power!
Yeah, this is straight up not even just a different take. This is a different line, yeah. So it says there a rift in reality. This says, is this, ellipses, a rift in reality? Has she lost control of the power? Question mark. There's just a statement. She's losing control of the power. So yeah, we're splitting hairs here. But what do you do with reaction content on the internet but split hairs, Kyle? That's one where I straight up. I'm with you. I like because I didn't know what was happening in that scene. I was putting the piece together too.
I do enjoy the new Sphene though. The long form Sphene. It's Mimi. It's sloppy. I love it, but it's not the shock of knowing that you've awakened a friend. You are saying their first name, addressing them directly. You're already a friend. She's doing that there with Lamat. Lamat responds with her real name. Not a pained scream of it, which has its own read. But with the effort she is exerting, lifting a robot hand, this works.
You bring up a good point. I don't think I can really argue with it about the further Sphene, but I maintain that the flying through the air Sphene and the lifting of the hand is easily the biggest upgrade of the scene, because it feels like they knew exactly what was happening in the scene and it was directed in the voice here. Because you make changes like this, we're all going to come up with conspiracy theories. Like, the people who really like to meme on this and be mean about it are going to be like, aha, it was so bad the first time they had to get the voice actor back in the booth to do it again. Although I do think now we're in the realm of heading back to the booth, but I think it's also I believe it's because now they know what the hell the scene was going to be. Before all of this, I was like, I wonder if they just use a different take. Because usually there's a lot of different takes, and it's someone's choice down the road to select the take that they're going to use and then clean it up, add any audio effects to make it fit the room that it's happening in, which, by the way, they don't always get that right, I feel, in Final Fantasy XIV. I don't know. Like, where's your head at? I'm assuming at this point, because it like matches the scene so perfectly, they were just like, hey, can we get you back in the booth? The Toonami kid in me, just, kind of got some love for the original. And oh God, Kyle, we're those people now. We're those people who were there for a change that can then come to new players and be like, it was different before.
You gotta hear the original. The original was wild.
It's going to happen. Anyone who's catching up on Final Fantasy XIV is going to get to this scene. Everyone's going to be typing Sphene with a bunch of E's, and the streamer's going to be like, what? And they're going to be like, the original cut, yada, yada, yada. Explain. It's going to be like the 5G towers in M Walker, and we're like, why? Huh?
Product of its time.
What are we doing?
And ultimately, awesome. Good update. Let's use this power for good.
Let's go back to A Realm Reborn. Don't get the new voice actors. Get the old voice actors. Teach them how to actually pronounce those damn words. Let's make Slope even longer and more memey, because it's a meme and everyone loves it now. Let's ham it up even more.
Test those reflexes.
What lines in Final Fantasy XIV would you like to see re-recorded?
Comment below.
This is what I desire, and I will not fail.
We've done it.
Sphene, yep.